Hello there, this is the Shadow Ranger, and I finally get enough questions, so this is going to be my second Q&A video. Hope you enjoy. I got, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 questions. First two questions comes from Mr. Killer Relic 2008. He asked, is Mr. Anderson TNA's modern day Stone Cold? It would seem like that's what they're going for. Sort of, I don't give a crap about anybody but myself. I don't have no friends. Everybody's a foe. I'm only looking out for me. I'll hit my finisher, mic check everybody who gets in my way. But I don't think they're fully going for the full Stone Cold thing. I think they're just going for one aspect of Stone Cold, which was, I have no friends, I have no allies, I'll take you out just like I take anybody out. Whatever gets me to what I want, which in this case is the title. I don't think he's going to be like, I think he's more like late 96, 97 Stone Cold. Just, I don't care if you friend or foe. I could be getting my ass whooped. You can help me fight off 3 dudes. I'm gonna mic check you right after it, just like Stone Cold used to do. But I don't think they're going for the full-on like 98 Vince McMahon feud era Stone Cold. You're not gonna see Anderson driving trucks and Zambonis to the ring and things like that. But I think they are doing some Stone Cold, some Stone Cold-esque things with him. His second question was, do you think Dixie is digging a grave for her company by coming out to the public wrestling side of TNA? I mean, she's the president. She shouldn't get as much time as she does. I don't think it's gonna dig a grave for the company. It's not killing the company, but it's not that good on TV simply because she's not a good actor. You know, you talk about having people on TV like Eric Bischoff and Vince McMahon and Paul Heyman. They're good actors. They can pull it off. Dixie Carter can't. I don't have a problem with her being an on-screen authority figure if she was good at doing it. She is not good at doing it. She is not a good actress. She does not cut good promos. She's just not a good actor. And for that reason alone, I say she should be on TV. Personally, once the Immortal storyline wraps up, I would make Sting the on-screen authority figure and leave it at that. But I don't think her being on TV is going to kill the company. But, I mean, I wouldn't have her on TV simply because she's a bad actor. If she were to get better acting abilities, then I think there's potential for her as an on-screen character. But to try to make her serious and business-oriented, I would go something completely off the wall with Dixie Carter. Do something different. Don't have her just be the boss in charge, the nice boss or the mean boss. If Dixie's going to be in charge, she's got to be like either... She got to be like... I would want to see crazy Dixie. Like, just overly frustrated. The stress with all these wrestlers has given her like a nervous breakdown, and she's just like wacky. Be funny with it if she's gonna be a character. I like to see crazy Dixie just sitting right there making matches, but just sounding crazy as she does it. Like if she goes nuts, like what I would like to see is Dixie say, you know, they want action. I'm gonna give them action until it makes them sick. And she just sounded like a psycho nut job coming up with crazy ass matches. Like we're gonna have a knockouts title match, yeah, and it's gonna be Angelina Love versus Madison Rain, and it's gonna be a flaming table thumbtack match. And then you have like somebody like Steve saying, wait a minute, let's calm down, let's not do flaming tables and thumbtacks. And Dixie's like, yeah, that's kind of crazy. Let's just do an Inferno match. She's putting knockouts in like Inferno matches and fucking barbed wire laced ultimate X's. And she's just nuts. And you have somebody like Steve trying to calm her down, like, calm down, Dixie, let's not do something too insane. She's gonna be like a psycho owner. That, you know, something different. If she's gonna be on TV, do something totally crazy and off the wall with her. I'm not saying do that specifically, but go crazy off the wall with it if she's gonna be on TV. But get her some acting lessons first. Apologize for my voice. I've been a little sick for like the past week or so, and I'm an English teacher, so I have to talk a lot for my job. So, and it's late at night, so I've been talking a whole lot for like hours and hours straight. So again, I'm sorry for how my voice sounds right now. The next two questions come from WWE TNA ROH guy. He says, when the Immortal storyline is over, what do you think the next big storyline in TNA will be, and with what wrestlers? Hopefully there won't be one. I don't mind the overarching storyline thing, but I hope they move away from that. I'm tired of takeover angles in TNA. There's always a overarching storyline. There's always a power struggle or somebody trying to take over. I would like if they would go like 6 or 7 months without an overarching storyline. Just be old school and have some feuds. Your main storyline should be the world title feud. Whoever's feuding for the world title. I would like to see TNA just kind of do it without the big overarching storyline thing for a while. I kind of miss that. That's what I'd like it to be. What will it be? Well, Immortal's over. Hogan and Bischoff are defeated. Dixie's back in control. If history serves it right, it'll be somebody else trying to take control of the company. Some new group. There's always been a group from Immortal, Main Event Mafia, Planet Jarrett. They need something different. Something that's... as long as it's not a somebody's trying to take over the company angle, I'll be fine with whatever it is. I've been doing a series of videos called After Immortal. I need to put out the next one. I'm trying to get the next one ready to put out. But in those series of feuds, there wouldn't be an overall arcing storyline. His second question was, what free agents do you think TNA should sign to compete with WWE, and how would TNA use them? As I've said in previous videos, it doesn't matter who they sign. Competing with WWE is about money. You need money. Lots and lots and lots of money to compete with WWE. Without the money, nothing else matters. They're going to need millions upon millions, hundreds of millions of dollars. WWE is a $1 billion machine. They spend hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars on advertising and promoting their product. Regardless of who you bring in, without the money to match that WWE marketing machine, it won't make a difference. So as far as competing with WWE, not happening no matter who they bring in. What free agents would I want them to sign? As far as people that I see, the only indie wrestling that I watch is NWA Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, which I also review every week. And there's a lot of guys on that show that I'd like to see in TNA. Most notably, the former world champion Scrap Iron Pierce. I think that guy is just so awesome in so many ways. I would love to see him in TNA being managed by Ric Flair and have a little group together with him. I think there's a lot of guys on the NWA Hollywood roster that would be great in TNA. Because, if I took over TNA tomorrow, I'd fire a lot of those ex-WWE guys, but I try to hire a lot of several NWA Hollywood talents. I would like to see other guys from that show I'd like to see in TNA. Cole Cabana, the new world champion. The Rottnest Monsters. Natural Selection. Buggy. Willie Mack especially. I think that dude could be everybody talks about wanting somebody to save the X Division and bring it back. Willie Mack could do it. That dude is so versatile. He looks like a heavyweight. He can move like a cruiserweight. Go watch some of his matches on that website and some of the ones that I got uploaded to my YouTube channel. When I see Willie Mack, I think X Division. I think this dude is just awesome. He would be great for the X Division. I would love to see him in TNA. Um, Other free agents, just people that I personally like and would like to see more. I always like Cody Deaner. I like to see him come back. I like to see what he could do with his new gimmick. He kind of stopped doing his redneck gimmick so much. He has this kind of badass biker looking guy. Calls himself the Everyman, the Cody Deaner, which I've seen some pictures of that, and I kind of like it too. And I like to see him do some stuff with that gimmick. Even his redneck gimmick was fun. I always liked him a lot. Some of the knockouts that are left, I'd like to see come back. I like to see ODB come back. Maybe Alyssa Flash. I wasn't never that huge on her. I mean, a lot of people go nuts over her, but I'm never that big on her. But I always liked ODB a lot. I'd like to see her back. Taylor Wilde, except that Taylor Wilde decided to retire from wrestling. But if she ever decided to get back into wrestling, I'd love to see her come back to TNA. Petey Williams, I liked. Sanjay Dutt, I like to see come back. I wouldn't mind seeing that Isis the Amazon chick show up. She's like a big giant woman, and with WWE having Awesome Kong now, maybe they could push Isis as their new big monster heel. I think she could work. How would you use them? There's not enough time to talk about all those in this video. But I may do a separate video where I talk about some of the people that I'd like to see come in and what I would do with them, though. Check my time. I'm at 11 minutes 46 seconds. I got to those questions pretty quickly. Alright, got three more questions. These are from J Hobson 623. Says here, recently on Raw, Edge retired. Do you think it is possible that Edge will come back in a non-wrestling capacity, for example, an announcer or manager? Not for a while. I have a hard time thinking that he would. Edge strikes me as the type of guy who's not going to be happy being in the wrestling business if he can't wrestle. That's kind of how he strikes me. That's if this is true. There's still a possibility this might be some kind of work, but it seems like it's true. But we gotta wait and see. But he doesn't strike me as the type of guy who can be happy being in the business but not wrestling. Announcer, nah, I don't think he really has the mic skills to be an announcer. As a manager, I don't know. Who would he manage? I mean, would manage Christian? Christian doesn't need a manager, and plus WWE doesn't really do managers anymore. So I can see him maybe working as like an agent, as an ambassador for the company. Make special appearances at events. He'll be in all the video games. Like the next SmackDown versus Raw comes out, he'll be like one of the unlockable legends in the game, or stuff like that. But I think he'll almost be like an ambassador type role. He'll make appearances at events, induct somebody into the Hall of Fame, sporadic appearances. But I don't think he'll be doing stuff regularly on TV anymore. Next question was, when do you think The Miz will drop the WWE title? And also, if you could book a face turn for Miz, how would you do it? When will Miz drop the WWE title? I'm going to go ahead and make this an official prediction. The Miz will be champion until SummerSlam. Unless he royally screws up. I'm talking about like Jeff Hardy screws up where he has to get beaten in 88 seconds. A big wellness policy violation. He gets like arrested in something or part of some type of scandal that brings a lot of negative press to the company, or tell Stephanie McMahon to blow him or something. He's going to have to, unless he royally screws up. If it's just a small screw up, WWE will cover it up, sweep it under the rug. He's going to have to screw up big time. So if Miz loses that belt before SummerSlam, I guarantee you within the next 2 or 3 weeks you're going to hear about him screwing up big time before he lost that belt, and that'll be why. Barring a major screw up, Miz will be champion until SummerSlam. That's my prediction. And let's see here. A face turn for The Miz. I think he's going to be one of those guys that the crowd turns face. the crowd is getting into Miz more and more. You're hearing a lot more cheers for him as time has gone by. There's a lot more Miz's awesome chants. He's getting that mixed reaction like Cena, but he's moving closer and closer to cheers. You're gonna have to turn someone else heel. If they ever do that Cena heel turn that a lot of people think is gonna happen, that could work. If I'm turning Miz heel, face. He's got to be screwed over by an even bigger heel. We got to build up a bigger heel to screw over the Miz, and that's how we'll turn him face. Alright, and the last question from Jay Hobson. With the introduction of Mexican America and Impact's premiere on MTV Trace, which is a Spanish language MTV channel, it's obvious that TNA is going after the Hispanic demographic. Do you think this is a good move, or could it significantly benefit TNA? Absolutely, this is a great move. Another thing that hasn't been mentioned, according to some spoilers I read, Amazing Red, who is also Latino, is going to be debuting like a new masked luchador type gimmick, which I think is cool because I've always found Amazing Red to be kind of boring. But if he can get over with a mask gimmick and they can sell some masks, more power to him. Absolutely, this is a great idea. See, people was wondering what's up with this whole stuff about like them bringing in this Mexican America group, and there was rumors of them bringing in some other guys from AAA, and everybody was like, what's the deal with this? And then I read that spoilers talking about Amazing Red debuting some new mask gimmick, luchador gimmick. I'm like, what's the deal with that? Then I read the report about them getting on this Spanish language channel. Like, oh, well, now we know. Absolutely. Expanding. TNA is trying to grow. One of the things they have to do to grow is expand their market. More people have to have access to them. Also, it will get them some a good core loyal viewers. Why do you think WWE makes so big of a deal to push Rey Mysterio, and then when his talks start talking about Rey Mysterio possibly getting ready to retire, they bring in Alberto Del Rio, then they bring in Sin Cara. Excuse me. The Mexican audience is very big. Something you gotta understand about foreigners. Americans, we have nationalism, we have national pride, but we're much more individuals than people in other countries. In college, I was in college for 5.5 years. Most of my friends in college were from foreign countries. I live in Korea now. Something I've learned about foreign countries is they are very, very loyal to their country. They will support somebody who's from their country on all to no end. If you're Korean doing something, Koreans will support you. If you're a Hindu, the other people from India will support you. I mentioned this in an old video. I remember going to an event in my school when I was in college, Indian Nights, like a show celebrating Indian culture, and they had a poster board out there with like famous people from India. Right there on the board, next to freaking Gandhi, is a big ass picture of the Great Khali. He gets huge reactions in India. People are talking about why does WWE keep him around? Because as long as the Great Khali is in WWE, there is a country in India. There are hundreds of thousands of people in India who will watch WWE TV and buy WWE merchandise just because the Great Khali is on TV. He is a huge celebrity in India. He's been on talk shows and reality shows. He is a huge star in India, and that brings attention to the WWE. People in other countries are very, very loyal to their country and their countrymen. And Mexican America I've already seen 3 different Spanish language magazines showing Mexican America. I think it's called Super Luchas or something like that. It had a picture of Sarita and Rosita after they won the titles. Then they had recently just had an article about the Mexican America stable. I just read another one today. A Spanish language sports site called mediotiempo.com has a whole article about Mexican America on their website, and I'll put the link in the description box here. But again, the whole thing's all in Spanish, so they also have some other stuff on wrestling. I'm looking at the page right now. They got an article on about Sin Cara's debut and stuff. But big picture of them with Mexican America in the ring talking about them, just because they're a new Latino group, I think this could be nothing but good from TNA. As long as they book them properly, make them look good. I think Hernandez and Anarquia need to be the team that beats Beer Money for the tag team titles. I would have them win at the next pay-per-view. They wouldn't win clean. There'd be some interference from Immortal to cost Beer Money the titles. So, because then they'd have the men's and the women's tag belts. It's all good for TNA. I think this will work pretty well for TNA if they do it right. We'll have to follow for the next couple of months and see how the ratings for on that new channel turn out. If it gets a good following, and is there more talk about TNA coming out of Latino countries, we'll have to keep an eye and try to get information on that. But I think it'll work pretty well. I hope they start trying to promote more international talent. Again, the UK people love British Invasion. British Invasion is one of the reasons that they get such good ratings in the UK. Remember, TNA frequently gets higher ratings in the UK than Monday Night Raw does, and SmackDown. I think like this past week was like the 4th week in a row that Impact got higher ratings than Raw and SmackDown in the UK. I can't see this going wrong unless they do something royally stupid. Yeah, that was the last question for this one. So that was 7 questions this time. I'm at 21 minutes. Real quick before I go, I just want to say a little bit about Edge. I was sorry to hear what happened to Edge. I haven't been a big fan of Edge over the past couple of years, but you hate to see somebody's career end like this. You always want to see a guy go wrestle his career and have a good time and go out when he's ready. I mean, if there's a way you have to retire, this is never the way you want to hear about a guy retiring. Edge was still very good in the ring. He still had a good, age-wise, he hasn't hit that age where he's too old to go. He still had another. He probably could have gone for another, 3 or 4 years before he hung it up. And it's just disappointing to know that he has to end his career due to injury. So I just hope everything works out well for the guy in the future. Alright, so that's the end of this Q&A video. I had fun doing this one again. If you like this Q&A video, please subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at TJSMITH3. Also, if you like this Q&A, send me some questions so I can do the next one. I want to try to make these not as short. So again, as soon as I get 5 good questions, I will do another one. Alright then, this is the Shadow Ranger. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day.